So welcome everybody to part 2 or session 2 of this 3-part webinar series. Today we are going to cover intermediate level skills and really help you with some easy skills to provide really all important world-class customer service that eBay is looking for all of its sellers to participate in. Really trying to transfer knowledge for action and really help arm you with the knowledge and skill set, because it's important. The more you know about eBay, the more successful you can be. Arm you with knowledge for action. A lot of sellers that utilize programs languish in their eBay skills and navigation. Providing you information for strategy to help you really realize your best maximization and the best commitment that you can out of the eBay program. So the agenda for today, I'm going to cover some high-level things that are very, very important to your customer service level and your defect rating. I'm going to cover returns, how to find the returns process and what's important about returns. I'm going to cover also the dispute and resolution with buyers. I'm going to cover the whole transaction cancellations process. Also review the whole world of transaction defects and how powerful and meaningful that they are can weigh you down for your performance level. Refunds, it's going to be very helpful for you guys to see really a full and efficient process for handling refunds. There is oftentimes need to end live listings or make edits to current live listings, and it's important that you see how to deal with that. You can also understand how to get into vacation mode as a feature function of your eBay store. And a consistent theme that I try to share with people along the way, especially from yesterday, is if you've got some specific go-to pages that are on eBay, the places that you spend most of your time on eBay, bookmark them. Put them in your favorites for your browser. Okay, so that's the agenda for today. The next thing I wanted to mention is your commitment and strategy as an eBay seller, as having this eBay program and being a seller on eBay. You want to look at your universe and eBay strategy for success. And really, there are 3 major legs to the stool of eBay operating. What I want to focus on is that there's really only 3 primary areas that are demanding your attention. Okay, the first one being inventory management here in the middle. Your inventory and the management of your inventory is the single most important thing that you can do to maximize your opportunity to market your merchandise on eBay, make it available for sale, and ultimately have the maximum amount of sales transactions that you can have per month. If your inventory is languishing in the dark in your inventory tool, well, it's not working for you on the eBay marketplace. So you need to focus on your inventory. You need to make sure that it's activated for eBay. You need to make sure that obviously your shipping rules and settings are appropriate, that all of that material that you have is working and effectively working for you on eBay. The second leg of the stool is your customer service. And that's a lot of what we're here to learn about today, is different skill sets and different productive things that you can do to navigate eBay and also protect yourself as a seller. There's so many things that you can do to deflect and protect yourselves, and that's what a lot of this material, this 3-part series, is all about. The third leg of the stool is shipping. Your outbound shipping is also one of the most important things that you can do. These are the 3 areas that demand your attention. Everything else that relates to eBay is just wasted time. If you've only got a limited amount of time to focus on eBay, you want to focus in on the absolute most important things available to you. The first item on the agenda for today is the returns. Okay, so let me flip you over to eBay now and start talking about returns. By definition, believe it or not, eBay has made it very easy for buyers and sellers to deal with the returns. If you embrace this flow, this return process flow, and know how to use it, it will be a much more productive use of your time and a much more productive customer service dialogue that you are having with your buyers. Buyers can trigger a return request via their transaction history, via the transaction they have with you. This will trigger or send you an alert email to your inbox, as well as it appears on your eBay messages. Most important thing you need to do is react. You need to react to those requests for returns. If you don't react, that's grounds for the buyer to escalate up to a case, which we'll talk about, and those raise flags and cause problems. Okay, so now let me show you how to access the whole returns policy and process and flow if you haven't already discovered it. Now, the quickest way to go is to get over to your Seller Hub. Now, here you have, I'm already logged into eBay. I'm sitting on this first login page of the My eBay Summary, and I want to switch over through the Activity tab to the Seller Hub. This rolls you over to the Seller Hub, and you want to cursor over your Orders tab across the top menu. Scroll down and click returns. Now, if you have current returns that buyers have requested, you will see them here. When you have these returns in here, you can communicate with the buyer, report the buyer if you feel like there's some fraud, contact the buyer and continually send messages to them. It's very important that you react to these returns and you give them the opportunity to print shipping labels from eBay, or at least have some sort of instruction on how to return things. Let me also call out here, if you don't happen to see the return that you're after, you can search for it, and you have a menu of drop down here to find if it's something related to the item ID, the username. You can find the product that they're after. Other thing to remember is that you really do need to have a written and explicit return policy associated with your eBay listings. And I wanted to remind you that your eBay return policy is housed within your eBay Parts Center profile. And that's right here in this manage profile. If you log into eBay and then go to ebay.com/VIP, that will take you to this welcome center. And you want to click in the manage profile and double check your return policy. Take 15-20 minutes to double check what's in there. Make sure that it's correct. If you want to charge a handling fee or a return fee, you want to make sure to cover that in that material, and that is where it's kept. And that return policy is pushed onto all of your current live listings on the site. Very important that you know what your return policy is, where it lives, to keep it updated. Let me remind you, you come back to My eBay, come over to the Activity tab, click on Seller Hub, come over to Orders, All Orders. There's also returns there, and you can also see returns here on the left nav. So once you get into Orders, you'll be able to see all of the other elements that you're trying to get to as well. The next piece on the agenda is disputes and buyer resolution. By definition, an individual buyer has a problem with the transaction they had with you, and they're trying to communicate. When a buyer can't get a reaction from you and you're not responding to their dialogue through eBay for a return or some other issue, they will very likely turn to eBay and go into the claims process. You want to be very aware of those. You will receive alerts, you will receive emails, and you want to be very conscious of those claims as they pop up. If you ignore those, if you don't react or respond to the communications, buyer has the right to trigger a resolution case, to start a case, and that triggers eBay, flag to eBay, right? Disputes raise a flag. They raise a flag internally with eBay, and it literally starts a clock. It literally forces you to react. If you don't react, if sellers don't engage and don't deal with the dispute, eBay will automatically step in. They will automatically step in and more than likely rule in the buyer's favor and provide a refund. They might instruct them to first return the item, upload a tracking number for the return of the item, but more than likely, if it's a relatively low value item, they're just going to refund the money, you lose, and the buyer simply moves on. The case gets resolved by eBay, and that causes a defect against your seller stat. Unresponded cases that are closed by eBay, those will cause a defect on your eBay seller rating. And if you get enough of those, if you're ignoring those cases and eBay is deciding these cases for you, you have enough defects over a certain amount of time, eBay will begin to lower your limits. They will begin to come down on you, and ultimately you will lose your seller status. And losing seller status is very important because that also means better seller status gives you higher lift in search results. So let me show you how to access the resolution center. There are several ways to get there, but two very simple ones. If you go to account settings, okay, you can go to the account settings here. You can also click the account settings up here in the upper left hand corner to get to the account page. And if you scroll down this left margin, you will see the resolution center. That's one way to do it. You can also come back up through the account and over to, I want to show you how to get there through the eBay Seller Hub. You'll see the Orders tab, and then you'll see what's also referred to as cases. Cases, resolutions, same thing. This will take you over to the cases actually within the resolution center. So those are two different ways to get there. And buyers and sellers see the same resolution center. Okay, so this is what the buyers will see as well as what you see. And if I'm a buyer, I can come through the whole I bought an item flow, and I can say I received it, doesn't match the description, click on continue. I can fill in a few other elements and boom, I've created a case, and that raises a flag within eBay to get help. You, on the other hand, can also file a case and can also get help on a transaction. The biggest one that you're trying to get to is the cancel transaction process. There's one piece here, and I want to show you quickly also One other thing that's important when you come to the Resolution Center is pay attention to this help menu. These links will take you out to definitions of each of the elements and really help you with additional information for how to deal with problems, solving problems. There's so many different things here that you can pull from in the process of resolution and understanding how the whole process works to really protect you as a seller. Now you can see here down below there are 2 requests or cases that have been closed. There were 2 in this case, in this account. There were 2 return requests that were dealt with very quickly. And there are 2 other open return requests where shipping is coming in. They're returning the item. They've paid for the shipping to come back. And we're just waiting for that item to return. So cases and return requests flow into the same Resolution Center. It's important to know, and it's just really productive use of time to come here to deal with them rather than trying to figure out how to get to these pages when something pops up or you haven't been able to react. The next one I want to show you is refunds. Refunds are also very, very important. Refunds are very important. By definition, it's the process of transferring money back to the buyer, but it can be complicated. Technically, the money is in PayPal. The money's not in eBay. If it's a straight up refund that you need to send to somebody without dealing with eBay, go to PayPal and refund it from there. Look up the order, look up the person, look up the eBay item number, the transaction number, whatever it might be, and just do it directly from PayPal if you don't need to get eBay involved. If you cancel correctly on eBay, if you need to do a order cancellation on eBay to get your fee structure back, if you do it correctly and you do it directly on eBay, it will trigger a refund that pushes the money out of PayPal back to the consumer, and all fees come back to you. So that's very important. You can cancel it correctly. You can trigger a refund. It takes less than a few seconds to do it. You can get all your fee structure back, both from eBay and from PayPal. And eBay can see that process of return, that process of customer service, that process of refund. And that's very important to help protect you and your seller status in the process. Now let me show you how to access the refund flow. Go again back to the Seller Hub and you cursor over the Orders tab at the top of the screen. Click on All Orders. It'll bring you to the All Orders. In this case, you want to either find the transaction if it's on the first page list, or if you need to find it, you can do a search. You want to find the product and bring it up here in the search results that you have on this main page. And then what you want to do next is click this little drop-down menu right here within the transaction, and that will bring you a menu of items. Okay. Now, if you want to just do a straight up refund, you simply click on View PayPal Transaction. It'll launch PayPal. You'll have to log into PayPal, and you'll be able to go through that flow process of refunding the money over there on PayPal. That's the quickest way to deal with it and the quickest way to get those refunds back. Okay, again, reacting quickly, productive use of time, coming in very quickly, very efficiently to do those returns. Before you do returns sometimes, or before you do refunds, you might want to go through the process of order cancellation. So let me take you back. Cancellations are the #1 creator of defects on any seller's account. By definition, you are trying to get out of a transaction, or the buyer is trying to get out of a transaction, or a commitment for a transaction. Obviously, in this case, it's important to understand where you need to cancel a transaction for whatever reason. By definition, you have a need to communicate with the buyer. It's very important that you see the fact that there's a right way to do cancellations and there is a wrong way to do cancellations. The wrong way gets you a defect against your seller rating, and you are trying to avoid defects against your seller rating. So let me show you. Let me guide you through the proper flow or starting point for canceling a transaction. Again, you want to come to the eBay Seller Hub, click on the Orders tab, or come into All Orders, go to the Orders tab, and again, search for the transaction you need to cancel, or maybe you're at the end of the day, you're doing all your shipping, you realize there's a part that's momentarily out of stock. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you're out of stock momentarily. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you, at the moment, can't fulfill that transaction at that particular moment. What you want to do is think of cancellations in 2 steps, 2 simple steps, right? Come to the transaction, find it here in the Orders panel, click the drop-down menu, and first, before canceling, first step you want to take is pause, take a breath, realize what's happened, find out if the product is available or not, readily, or if it's going to take several weeks or several days, and click on the Contact Buyer. What you need to do is send them a message first, telling them what's going on. Hey, I don't have this product at the moment. I can get one in X amount of days. Can you hang on until I can ship it? Or would you like to cancel? Give them those 2 choices. Give them those 2 choices and get permission to do that. So once you find it, the first thing you want to do is contact the buyer. Send them a note, inform them, give them a choice. Do you want to wait, or would you like me to cancel the transaction and send you a refund? Wait for that response to come back. If it doesn't come back, they're probably not communicating effectively through eBay, but you are proactively reaching out. eBay can see that message that you send out to them. When you are ready to cancel, if you have received permission from response back saying, hey, cancel and send me a refund, what you want to do is come back to this drop-down menu, click on cancel order. After doing the communications with the consumer, you want to come to this particular cancel order dialog and come down this flow. When you hit this drop down menu, you've got three choices. Only one you ever want to click on is the buyer asked to cancel the order. You've got to be careful though. You don't want to just come here direct and cancel orders without communicating with the buyer and at least letting them know what's going on and giving them a choice to wait or to cancel and get a refund. If you click on I'm out of stock, that immediately refunds the money, but it gives you a defect. You want to protect yourselves. You need to know. That's why we're here today, is to teach you what will give you a defect and what won't. Buyer has asked to cancel the transaction is the only one that you can select that doesn't cause a defect against your seller rating and seller status. Something's wrong with the buyer's address, don't even look at that one, because all of the addresses that are up on eBay, they're confirmed. When you click on buyer has to order cancel a transaction, you click on continue, you go through the rest of the flow and confirm. It will give the buyer back his money. It'll suck it right out of PayPal and push it back to them. You get your PayPal feedback, you get your eBay feedback, no defect, everybody's happy, and you now are in the right place. So again, very, very important to understand that you do not want to use the out of stock selection. You always want to use the buyer asked to cancel. When you go through this particular flow of first communicating and second canceling, eBay can see the process, they can see the communication that you've done, and you are protected from any sort of related defect. Don't worry about the feedback comments that people put on your feedback page. They don't count anymore. They don't mean anything. People don't look at them. Don't take it personally. Don't even worry about the feedback page. It's totally irrelevant, and it's really not a part of the whole process of eBay these days anyway. Let's talk about the quick and easy flow of editing or ending a current live listing on eBay. Now, by definition, sometimes is a need to end a live listing on eBay. Remember, if you do cancel something directly on eBay, you need to deactivate that item within the inventory tool that you use, so it will not be relisted by the system, by the program. Okay, so if you kill something on eBay and it's being driven by the program, you need to also end it over at the inventory management program, or it will relist again. So let me show you very quickly now how to go through the process of editing an item, because you can, and you need to know this. You want to click down again to the Seller Hub. You want to come to Items. You want to come to Listings. Click on Listings, or you can click on Listings here. That will take you to your current live inventory. And you can either search for the item in the search box here through the search process, or if it happens to be at the top of the list or somewhere on the first page, you've already found it, click on this drop-down menu. This drop-down menu will give you other options. You can edit the listing, you can add notes that are internal to you as the seller, or you can come through the end item flow. There is no penalty, there is no defect to you for ending a listing, and you have a choice here. You can just say the item's no longer available, there's an error in the listing, pick one and end it. There is nothing wrong with doing this. The next thing I want to show you is a feature function of your eBay store called vacation mode or vacation settings. By definition, vacation mode lets you stop buyers from buying any of your live eBay items. It keeps the listings alive. What vacation mode does is it actually keeps the listings and the sales history and everything about that listing alive on eBay. It hides you and your items from search and removes the eBay Buy It Now button from the items. So you won't come up in search, and if people may have something of yours in their watch list, if they click to open that particular live listing, they'll notice very quickly a tag that says you're on vacation or that you're away for the moment, and the Buy It Now button won't be there for them to click to buy. You know, there are several reasons that you might need to go on vacation mode. You might literally be going on vacation. There's nothing wrong with going on vacation mode. Shut down the madness while you are away from the office. And there's nothing wrong with going into vacation mode to prevent transactions. Be proactive. Use the vacation mode to protect yourself from any sort of catastrophic level defects to your seller rating. The vacation store settings are found on the eBay store controls, and I'm going to show you how to get there. So again, what you want to do is come to the Seller Hub. A real fast way to get there is to come to the Marketing tab, click on Store. If you come up here to the right-hand corner, you can see the Manage My Store. Just a very quick way to get to the store management components. If you notice here now, it brings you into the Manage My Store. So this is one place that you might poke around and focus on a few key elements. But if you'd like to customize your layout, you'd like to manage your, feel free to go ahead and poke around in here and try some things out. There's a lot of great features in here. But if you scroll down here, you'll begin to see all kinds of other features. And if you stick to the left margin here, you're going to see an item down here on the related links component that says Store Vacation Settings. Click on that. If you feel like you're going to be using vacation settings from time to time, bookmark this page so that you can quickly get to it. So if you scroll down here, the key thing you want to look for is your vacation settings on-off switch. You want to basically turn it on. It's going to give you an opportunity to type in a message. We will be back soon. You're not done at that point. You're just putting in a message here. Now what you really need to do, make sure that you click on keep people from buying your fixed price items while you're on vacation mode. If you don't select this, it just says that you're away from your office for an extended period of time, but you're still operationally allowing people to ship your goods. Okay, so again, vacation mode is really only worth it for you if you just turn off the buying process. And you also want to try to give people an understanding of when you might return. If you feel like it's going to be a long time, you don't know when you're going to come back, feel free to put some date out there. And it doesn't matter what date you use, but you do want to follow through on that. And then come to the bottom and make sure to hit apply in the lower right hand corner. And it's the same thing to reverse. When you want to come off of vacation mode, you simply come back into the store settings, come back into the store vacation settings, and turn your vacation mode off. That is the vacation mode and vacation settings for you and your eBay store. As a quick review, so we reviewed returns and how important they are to deal with. Disputes and buyer resolution, probably one of the most important things that you can do along with cancellations to protect yourself from defects in your eBay seller rating. Defects, okay, defects come in many forms. Refunds, ending a live listing, vacation mode, and remember the fastest, most productive thing that you can do is bookmark the pages that are most important to your eBay customer service, your inventory management, as well as your shipping, and get to them quickly so that you can react to different components of your eBay customer service when it's appropriate, when it's time. Again, there's only certain things that really need your time and attention, and you can really push away all the other non-productive things about your eBay navigation. That concludes the material that I wanted to share with you, and this is Knowledge for Action. So I want to thank you for your time. It's an honor and a privilege to share information with you, try to help you be better sellers in the world of eBay. Thanks so much.